Hi guys, welcome back to another Timeless Reading. This is filmed on Monday, December the 8th, 2025. Today we're pulling from the Golden Foil Tarot cards. The energies are heavy right now, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that was like a lot of heavy energy there when we had that cold moon, you know? It was just definitely like, I always take my feeds, and not for verbatim, like, sometimes things will pop in. But it's just like learning to trust your higher self. I thought I was like, oh, you're being too delulu. You know what I mean? And that's when the shadow side snuck in, and it's, oh man. Just exactly what I was seeing. The world card. Everything is wrapping up. It just depends when you feel like the new year is. For me, I always feel like it's like the Chinese Lunar New Year. So we're supposed to have 13 months in a calendar year. So that's for me personally. If that doesn't resonate with you, honestly, just don't take it. You know what I mean? But looking for signs and symbols. No, and I love what Harry Fairy says. It's just like, if we're gonna be anything, let's be as delulu as possible, because it's just like, it's all about enjoying life. You know what I mean? It's like, if you enjoy things, go with it. So we have the Hermit mode. The Hermit showing very High Priestess, where it's showing like information. Like, I was very thankful, and again, this is not her fault. These are the messages she got. She's just sharing the message. She's a vessel, right? Excellent vessel. I really love her energy, very down to earth. Amanda in Wonderland, I think is her name. I hope I'm saying that right, but I love very ethereal, very down to earth, just, I love her. She has a beautiful singing voice. I believe she has a song out on YouTube. I feel like you're coming out of a hermit mode. I feel like you felt this shift in you. This may be from coming out from a time of isolation where it was a separation, bereavement, divorce. And they're saying the people that have gone through this journey, it's like, you know that the friend circle changes. Your phone gets quieter. You know what I mean? It's just like the end of a cycle. And it's like the end of a chapter. You know what I mean? And it's like, it showed you the people, places, things. It showed you the people that were supposed to be in your life. Some of the lessons are harder. I was literally talking to my soul sister about this. Like, she's my, warrior, my armor of light. We both talk about Yahweh Yeshua, and it's just like talking about experiences in our childhoods are very much mirror each other, which is pretty crazy that we can sit there and in our darkness, we can, have fellowship and, be each other's light. And, it's just moving forward. You know what I mean? It's like, because we're women of God, we feel, compelled to do the things that, our heart and our soul call us to do. But sometimes we have to sit there and say, like, you know what? We got to protect our inner child. Because if you let people step all over you, they will. And even if you are at your breaking point, and they know it, even if you're beyond your breaking point, they don't care. You kept giving, so we kept taking. It's kind of like, where they're coming from. Funny enough, we're talking about that, and it's like the Lovers. You know what I mean? So you could have fallen out with someone recently. And remember, the Lovers doesn't necessarily have to be a soul connection in a partnership kind of way. Well, we always get caught up in the, fairy princess, and it's like we very much see that was not true at all. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, for myself, it's always been Yahweh Yeshua consistently in my life. Even when I thought it was their fault for things happening in my life. And it's like, nope, free will. They were the adults in this situation. It is what it is. Why live there? You know what I mean? There's transmute that ugliness and turn it into light, right? So, you know what I mean? And I feel like this is where they're saying, there was a reason why you were in isolation. I recently came across this YouTube video, and I was watching it last night, and I had to stop watching it because I was in tears. I was just like, okay, I need to write some of this down for sure. And I want to share some of this because, and I want to share the link as well, because give the flowers where they're due. I'm just the vessel of sharing their information that they shared in this video. But it's like they were, the reason for the isolation and the reason for all the stuff that happens in your life. And it's, talking about, like, because it's like a rebirth in your life, It is a rebirth in your life. You're not the same person you used to be. It's funny enough, I feel very tired today. I woke up tired, And I'm sure a lot of us feel that way because we just went through this craziness. Like, the retrograde energy isn't done till the 15th, But a lot of us definitely feel drained, It's just, doing the day-to-day life. And sometimes it's just like life be lifing, and then you're just like, oh my gosh, but it's like, learn to rest, not to quit. You know what I mean? Like, even myself, I was like, oh, I can lay down for a nap, until like 5 o'clock or something. And I'm just like, even if I just shut my eyes and lay still, sometimes I'll, be in and out of it for like, that time. But, or you feel, you actually finally fall asleep and the alarm goes off. Because I get like that a lot in the summer, because it's warm and, you have a nice shower, and then it's just like you have this, it's just so relaxing. So again, end of isolation, end of hermit mode, So it could be like you definitely felt like recently where it's very, wow, look at what's underneath, the 6 of Cups. Oh my gosh. So coming out of this energy where it feels isolated, left out on the cold, you know what I mean? And it's just like with myself, it's like, nope, it's coming. They even told me the dates. Like, they're like between this date and this date. And then I found out something, oh my God. I was being called about something, and I was just like, okay. And I was just like, that must be my shadow side. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I didn't have any pictures or anything to share with them. And, I was just like, let me just check in on them. I got some pictures of some cute chipmunks. And I'm just like, hey, don't have any pictures. I was trying to get pictures of Sunny. He goes in the footprints in the snow, and he puts his face, and he comes up and he's all covered in it. I was trying to get a picture to, to be like, hey guys, look, I don't want them to be like, oh, she's overbearing or something, or, but it's just, I had this feeling, and he confirmed it. I was like, oh my gosh, I wish you would have told me. I would have prayed. But that's what it's like. I feel like it's like spirit is like when something comes to your mind, even someone that I haven't interacted in a long time with. My soul sister had mentioned a situation, and I'm just like, I think that's where it's like, when they come to your mind, pray. You don't know what's going on, but it's like, pray. I wonder if something was supposed to come in here and it's not anymore. Things have changed. Something better. Because I was definitely told something was coming in. And you know what I mean? And I feel like it's just like something, like holding out for something better. Because the Hermit just came out. So going back to the 5 of Pentacles, it's like the 6 of Cups there. It's like given to others. That's why it's like, I thank Yahweh Yeshua. I'm like, thank you for, blessing their hands so they can bless others. You know what I mean? And it's just like, definitely needed that blessing. I'm very thankful for it. And it's like, they know by blessing their hands, they bless you, but they know by blessing you, you'll bless others. You know what I mean? Like, I was literally talking to my soul sister about this today, and I was just like, they know, even though, not poverty, but pretty rich, house broke is the better word. You know what I mean? Where it's like all the bills are paid, but there's no fun money left. But you're responsible. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, they see that, your kids see that. Like, even her oldest, works like his parents, always like, go. And it's just like, because they see what their parents did for them. And it's just like, be in that mindset. And it's just like, don't go to the point where, you know what I mean, you're burnt out or anything like that. But when you're giving those rest days and you're just like, you know what, it's a nice cloudy day outside, I'm going to just, stay in bed. I feel so comfortable and cozy. You know what I mean? You're taking care of everything that you felt drawn to take care of, and it's just like rest. Take that time to rest. The Hierophant, I feel like unlocker of secrets. There's like the 2 keys crossing with each other. Some people, this is like marriage, engagement, I feel like is going on here. Going before a court to testify. A contract being signed. So this could be an offer. But this is the thing. I feel like something that you really felt that was coming in here is not going to come in. I feel like it's not so much being taken away or you're being punished. It's like something better is coming in. I wonder if that's why they're signing that contract. They're saying get a lawyer to look it over. It's so funny from this angle. This kind of looks like eyes. But it's just like, this is the Hierophant is the number 5, major change and transformation. Stepping into this new era, that portal that's starting here. See, this is what I feel like. You were supposed to go on vacation or something here. I don't know if it's like the finance, like you're being smart. I feel like you will still end up having the funds. This is not to say to rebook your vacation, because it's going to be way more, like 3 times what you were paying before. But I feel like because, you were being smart, you'll be rewarded for this. Like, you'll even go on a better trip. Like, what you got booked is great. Like, it was like you needed it. You needed a getaway. But I feel like you will make a staycation. They're showing like the charcuterie board. And so I feel like this is Christmas. So I feel like it was just like being precautious. I feel like this was like a girls' trip or something like this. And it's just like you did that for your family. So you get rewarded in another way. It's like Ocean something. Ocean's Blue. Maybe that's the name of a travel company or something like that. I feel like it's like Barbados or the Caribbean. Something very with the white sandy beaches and turquoise waters. You know what I mean? But I feel like you end up going on a cruise instead. But what they have planned out for you is way better. So you go on the cruise. They stop on the island. I feel like you may have 2 nights on the island, and then you go back on the ship. I don't know if they do that. I think you could have a day trip and then they keep moving on. They port and then you go do whatever, and you have to be back on port by like 5-6 o'clock so they can go. So 6 of Pentacles again. I feel like this is also watching your money. It's like even the 6 of Cups, you're the person that fills everybody's cup. Queen of Cups very majorly here, but I feel like with the 6 of Pentacles, like it's like balance is being restored in your finances. So this is something that you're calling in on from universe. Maybe they're showing the word bonus. So it's like it's a bonus you didn't expect, or you know what I mean? It's just like, but I feel like it's like watch your money, still like wintry months. So funny enough, a girl, someone that I am friends with, they're talking about carpal tunnel, and she literally just had the surgery. Saying going well, so that's good. She had some bad bruising from, I guess, the IV, but I didn't feel like it was going to go bad, but definitely prayed for her and her son. They both went for surgery. So you're not feeling tied up anymore. So maybe this is where they're talking about, you felt like, very restricted. But Spirit was just like, before this, stupidly, I let that creep in. That's my own fault. But they were just like, yeah, they gave me the dates, and verbatim the dates. And the reason why it wasn't on what it was last year is because of a situation. Oh, there's a card facing up here. But, you know what I mean? It's just like trusting yourself. You know what I mean? It's like, I know there's healers that we come to resonate with, like even myself. But sometimes it's like we say things and it's just like, take it as guidance. This is not written in stone. What you choose to do in your life is your decision. Free will. You know what I mean? If they tell you you're about to, step into you're about to go down the rabbit hole in a situation, and you choose to go around the rabbit hole to avoid it, like, you're not ready to deal with that shadow energy, so avoidance behavior, which is fine, because it's like, especially if things are going good, it's like, who wants to, you know what I mean? Someone will bring up a situation, it's like, why are you bringing that up? Like, can we just have a good time? Look at that, the sun and, wow, the sun and the 6 of Wands, look at that. That's what I mean. I feel like, you know what I mean? You felt very trapped financially. You know what I mean? And they're talking about a bonus, so it's like maybe you were blessed by that bonus, or you're getting a bonus that you didn't expect. And they're saying, like, the sun. Like, you will succeed as the sunflower is around this child in the card. He has a sunflower crown. But also look at the color of the flag. It's a crimson red there, so root chakra, right? And it's like, you will be the victor wearing the wreath. And it's like, we grow in these situations. You know what I mean? It's like, when we feel this way, when we feel like we're stuck, it's like, pray. You don't know what to say in a situation. You're not sure what to do. Pray. But it's like, you know what? That's what I was saying to myself. Like, I was like in this high, like, even someone posted that. I woke up in a really good mood this morning, and I don't know why. I think it was Leo. Leo Skeppy. He was like, I woke up in a good mood, and I don't know why. Look at that. Ace of Pentacles. It's like the blessings that are coming to you, it's like they know your heart and they know your soul. They know you've done things, but it's like, this is something you don't have to work for. You know what I mean? But I feel like this is what they're saying. Like, you're getting all these wonderful, I always do that every video. Beautiful cards, because you did feel like you were like stuck in a situation and you weren't sure your way forward. And Spirit's like, we got you. So it's like concentrating on your work endeavors. You're a hard worker. You're passionate. You're kind. Soul worker. So you may be even yourself into tarot yourself. Maybe you don't feel like you want to post. That's fine. Maybe down the road you'll get the confidence to post. It's like, I didn't have the confidence to post. I didn't even know what the heck I was doing. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to pull a card, you know? I got some channel messages. I was literally reading it, and it was just like one of the things they're like, you should apply for this. That, like, this is a good time to apply for. I got turned down twice, you know? And then I applied again, and we got in, you know? So it's just, you know what I mean? And she was just like, no, I've been taking care of this the whole time. I'm like, well, I got a guy, and this is the same number. I don't know what happened there, but whatever. It doesn't really matter, but just thankful it turned around. But it's just like, because you work so hard and, like, you know, showing, I feel like definitely the biggest one that resonated there was that Six of Cups card. You know what I mean? It's just like, even when, you know, you go through these situations of the Eight of Swords when you're not sure, like, literally happened over the weekend. You know what I mean? It's like the universe sees your heart, because it's just like, they know in your situation, you still have an open heart to help others, you know? And it's not even so like, oh, I have to help because I grew up like this, or like I've been in that situation. It's just like, I feel like sometimes that's kind of good, because it does humble you in a way where it's just like, don't forget, you know what I mean? It's like, do we really need to be billionaires and trillionaires when we can fix the world? Like, that money ain't going with you. You're not using it for good. So what good is it? As much as you try to tap into the fountain of youth and try to live forever, you know what I mean? It's like, why don't we fix this world for the good? You know? Get rid of all these corrupt, you know, friggin' foundations that have been crumbling for years, and that we've been holding up on our own backs. They're literally showing, you know how they would have like the statue of David all muscular and everything? Or they have that one statue with the cylinder on his back, and it's like there's a slab, which is the foundation, and it's like on people's backs, that's what it's being raised up on. And we could keep electing these morons out of fear to change, you know? We're hoping that we're making a change, and it really doesn't do anything, you know? Like, literally, in Canada, I don't know if it's all Canada-wide, but they were showing in legislation, they're like, we're going to introduce a tax for because you use heat, if you overuse heat. And I'm like, well, who says you're overusing heat? Well, who gets to say that? How do you know that's coming from a heater? How do you know it's not coming from outdoor Christmas lights? Like, what do you care? They pay their hydro bill. What does it matter? Their electric bill. I just call it hydro because it was always hydro to me in Ontario. But we always pay our electric bill. What does it matter? You know, I don't overuse heat, you know? But I know my mom, it's like, oh my gosh. And she was actually complaining it was cold. She's like, oh, I need slippers. My feet are cold. I'm like, are you crazy? I'm like, it's hotter than hell in your room, in your house. But, you know, to each their own. I'm like, why don't you get yourself some indoor shoes? Indoor Crocs or indoor, you know, slippers or something. Like, her cat literally walked across with her slipper. I guess he hit him on her. But, you know what I mean? It's just like, be proud of who you are. I know sometimes situations definitely feel like the Eight of Swords, where you're not sure what to do. And it's like, if you are a person of faith, definitely turn to your faith and listen to yourself. I feel like that's the biggest thing. It's like, even if you can't see the way forward and you're like, oh my gosh, am I being so delusional that I've convinced myself it happened? You know, literally what they said. That's why I say, write down those channel messages. They were like, this date and this, between this date and this date. Literally, it happened the next day, and you know, it happened on one of the dates that they said. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, trust and have faith in the universe. Like, you know, just because it looks like that now doesn't mean it's going to look like that forever. Keep being you. Keep putting your heart where it is. But because you got that blessing, you know, I know it's Christmas. I know it's gift-giving time. I know we all, like, trust me. If I was able to do the things that my heart desires, I will one day. But when I'm able to do those things, I get it. You know what I mean? Again, because we've walked in those shoes. You know, when they sit there and say, don't judge a book by its cover till you walk in their shoes, it's because a lot of us have. If you're an 80s baby and you grew up in the kind of neighborhoods that we grew up in, and it's like, you know, some of our friends were lucky enough to have both parents in the house and have a house, whereas a lot of us lived in townhomes or in apartments and one parent in the house. So it's just like being grateful for that and paying it forward to the next generation, or paying it forward to, you know, it's just like, I get it, you know, here's, you know, if I'm able to sit there and help you out so it's less strenuous, or you get out of this energy where you feel all tied up, You know, this is why they're saying this is, they know you're hard. This is nothing you have to work for. It's just like kind of, you know, where they're saying you're comeuppings. It's just like, you know, you keep building this tower and you keep putting your hand down to help others, but you're not a gatekeeper. That's why they love you so much. You know, your work is being seen. So don't be surprised if you have social media accounts that they're exploding right now. It's just because that's who you are. You know? It's like, yeah, I've been tired. It has, the energy has been nuts. You know? It's just like it's all over the place. So give yourself time, like they're saying. Like, I know they're saying it's like, not really the time to rest, but it's like where you're able to. If you, like myself, it's like I could have posted. I'm like, I feel drawn to pull cards. I'm like, we need to pull some cards here. We need to sit there and, you know, maybe this resonates with a lot of other people. It's just like, hey, you know what? My situation changed around, so will yours. You know, in a blink of an eye. That's why they say don't make long-term decisions out of short-term situations, because you never know where that turning point is. So I hope you guys enjoyed this timeless reading. Rest where you can. May the universe bless you good.